Somebody wanted me to comment on this video as to whether or not this was a legal or illegal arrest. I have a huge issue with videos that start off in the middle of the action. We don't know what we're missing. Because we don't know what we're missing, we don't know. We never will know. I know a lot of people like to instantly jump to conclusions. Obviously, it must be a false arrest because obviously there's no disorderly conduct. I'm sure that he took the time to go through the Code of Ordinances to figure out about hindering or interfering with city officers or employees, resisting or assaulting officers. Does this officer have enough probable cause for the criminal trespass? I know he's just trying to issue a criminal trespass warning at this point, but I don't believe that you can get a criminal trespass warning issued unless you've actually been criminally trespassed. So you see where the issues are. There's a lot of videos like this that people desperately want me to comment on, or videos where like somebody's relaying the facts to us in a video. Like there's absolutely, I mean, that's like if somebody wanted me to represent them or my firm to represent them, they would come in and we would have a client consult, and we would ask questions about what happened, who, what, when, where, why, and how. Simple, short answer questions just to give us a general idea of exactly what we're looking at, and that would of course be directly from the client's mouth, and we wouldn't have all these wonderful, delicious, yummy facts. But we are going in to be the advocate for that person. In these YouTube worlds, I'm not going in to be the advocate for this young man, this Carolina Guardian, nor am I going in to be the advocate for the police officer. I see myself as more like, this is kind of generally where a judge is going to go on this. If a judge sees this, how would a judge kind of, obviously the various arguments that either side might put forward can shift that balance, but generally speaking, probably this is the way it's going to go. Probably that's the way it's going to go, whatever. So as a judge, you would want to see all of the evidence, and we're just missing way too much. So I can't jump to there was a false arrest, there was no disorderly conduct. I'm not entirely sure if the officer is referencing the state code or the ordinances. Maybe he's misspeaking. I don't know exactly where he's going with it. And I don't know if there was actual disorderly conduct before the filming started. Now, the officers seemed to be relatively reasonable. Like they ended up giving the young man's knife and because he wasn't harmed, they ended up giving his knife and his mother's keys and his cell phone to his mother without turning it off. So they seem to be fairly reasonable to me. It's hard for me to put people who are acting fairly calmly and reasonably in the tyrant camp. I mean, if all the other evidence suggests that they're being reasonable, calm, they're willing to give they could have just taken his stuff and booked it into evidence or whatever. They could have taken the phone and booked it into evidence. They could have done all these wonderful things, but they didn't do it. So it's hard to rationalize away why they're acting reasonable after the camera turned on, but not reasonable before the camera turned on. I know everybody's going to say, oh, it's because the camera turned on, they started being reasonable. Even with the camera on, they didn't have to give the stuff to his mom. So I appreciate the zeal with which some people defend auditors, defend everybody against the police, and that's fine. Public defenders do it, and I appreciate their work, but I don't think that telling someone that it is a false arrest when we don't know is really going to help them. It might give him a false sense of confidence going in. He definitely, well, it depends on what he's charged with. It may or may not be worth it to him to get a lawyer. He may end up spending more on the lawyer than what he would just dealing with it himself. But take it seriously. Nobody on the internet knows what the actual facts are. You need to get out of the facts. You need to preferably retain an attorney. It doesn't sound like you're really well equipped to represent yourself, but if you can't afford it, then take it seriously, because I don't necessarily think that you're going to prevail just by showing this video. I would say that just by showing this video, you don't prevail. I'm not saying that this video makes you lose, but it certainly doesn't exonerate you. So anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day.